let's empty the stash, shall we? There's an oldie. Better models to learn our skills of actual construction and, you know, clean glue lines and stuff and on kits like these. So this has been in the stash for a while. It's one of the first kits I got. Got thrown in for free with 48 scale. The old Pro Modeler series, I think Revell monogram. But anyways, older kit. As far as I know, it's complete. And it actually came with this here, an old Revell Battle of Britain. Looks like it has the Messerschmitt and the decals here inside it too. So I actually glued the wings together when I first opened this box. They're kind of wonky, but they look like they're glued together okay. So it looks like the parts are here to put a plane together that we can hang up in my friend's basement, add to his collection. And yeah, so let's just set this over here and let's take a look. So our instructions and our decals. Decals are shot. Yeah, I kind of figured the decals on a kit this old. Here, we'll get over. Yeah, they're toast. The green might be okay. These look like they might be salvageable. Letters. You know, some of these look like they still might be okay. These small ones, so I could probably use these are toast. The green seems to have, although this one's cracked. Those would just fall apart for sure. So, good thing we have lots of decals we can use. Let's just take a look at our instructions here. Wow, complicated cockpit. This is pretty easy. Get a brush small and rough down in there, paint the dials. I don't think so. Yep. This is rudimentary. Which is good. This is good stuff to build, I think, for me at my level. It's good to really just keep honing the basics. You know, I want to get pushing ahead with weathering and all kinds of techniques, and I do. And I fail and succeed at both, but yeah, I think this will be fun. Whack this together. This one in the Messerschmitt. I'm gonna keep the little donation train going. Fill up my friend's little collection. Let's take a look, see what we got here for parts. And we've got, assuming this is clear. Yep, look at that. Nice. Oh, it looks like it's in decent shape. Something on the back there is a blemish. Looks like a little bubble. Oh, but here we got recessed lines. Well, this is nice. So this is actually recessed as opposed to raised detail on the other ones that I just built. Revels from Germany. Okay, so that's nice. So we can use a pin wash to bring out all these details. Yeah, this is really nice detail on this little body of this Spitfire. That's nice. Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Well, I guess we know what parts we start with. There's our beginning seat and our console. Well, there's a little bit of dry brush surface there we could bring up with a dry brush. Not that you'll ever see it, but we'll do it anyways. And I'm going to put the gear up for this. So we'll see how that works. That was the problem with the 111, the Revell. I couldn't get, it was only to have it with the wheels down. The flaps didn't really fit the body. Piece of stuck on there. Alright, well, let's put this baby together. Get our tools out and start clipping. Looks like I'm going to start here. So let me get this, let me get the cockpit put together. I'll get it glued together. We'll come back, put it into some paint, figure out what colors we're going to paint. So once I get that far, we'll be, I'll come back and we'll take a look and see. Let's go. Was fun. There's the cockpit in place. I think we'll just paint it like that. Try to fit it so we know it clicks together okay. So there we go. So we'll get some paint in here. Before we do that, I'm ready for paint. Yeah, and then just click together that Messerschmitt. There was no console, but not like you're going to be able to see once it's hanging up on the ceiling. So, I don't know what to do. I think we'll just brush paint this thing. Trying to mask that. I don't think I'm going to be able to mask that. There are ridges, but they're so slight I don't even think they would hold liquid mask. So I think we'll just try to just brush paint it as clean as possible and then just toothpick away any excess and just see how clean we can get it. Because that's kind of there's a lot of framework in there and there's not much to go to, so I think we'll be able to do it. So let's get a coat of primer. Pushed you forward a little bit. Coat of primer on this, then we can let it dry, and we'll get a coat of primer in here and we'll get some colors going.
To examine all the records, warrant or not, but if there's a false claim made, believe me, we should be looking into our overseas partners.
We're launching a wider investigation. Until we're done, we're out of the adoption business.
Understood. I've just ordered an internal review myself, but this agency is only as strong as its reputation. So I want answers to the issue.
I don't mean to be ridiculous. In an issue, job comes first, second, and third.